probably has more guys on their depth chart, kind of have a stat on it than maybe anyone you've seen this year. They got a whole lot of different guys they can try to go to.
They do a whole lot of different things, too, to go along with that. So they get a lot of guys involved, that's for sure.
What's the biggest challenge in facing a team like that?
There's a lot of things. You got a very precise quarterback. Does a great job at spreading the ball around. They use a variety of personnel groups and a variety. They do a variety of things out of all those different groups. So our guys got to be really good with base concepts, and they get rid of the ball on time. Quarterback had a terrific day last week, and the receivers. And they got huge tight ends, big body guys, got some explosive running backs, and receivers really stepped up last week and had a very productive day against a good Georgia Tech defense. So I know that despite losing, again, they moved the ball at will. I think they've stubbed their toe, in the red zone a little bit. But they've moved the ball well on most everybody they've played. So, we've got our own issues cleaning up in regards to coverage, and that's what they do really well right now is throw the ball.
Dabo said that the defense this year is better in every area than it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a feeling that could happen, knowing the personnel going this year? Or what do you think is the reason?
Well, I certainly had hoped, but I think more experience and, a little bit better depth, more knowledge, and our cornerback play has really improved. So that's let us do more things, not have to quote-unquote cover up for them, and then we've consistently gotten pressure on the quarterback, and we've been a little bit sounder in what we're doing. So. But we're still work in progress. Hopefully we keep getting better. This stretch run here, that's what the good players, good teams do, good units do. They continue to get better, and we need to. I've got, just for me personally, just the way we finished that game last week, that's not a sign of maturity or a sign of arrival. For as well as we played, I think there was 9 or 10 possessions there that we held them to 6 points off of turnovers, and other than that, they didn't do a whole lot of anything. And you're pleased with, regardless of who you're playing, with the cleanliness of the play during that a large portion of that game, and to finish, with your guard down and sloppy play was very disappointing. And so a little bit of a concern, and we'll see if we can fix some things that we didn't do well early in the game as well against Maryland, and then they're down the last 5-6 minutes of the game, to continue to make improvement, because we're still a month to the end of the regular season, so a lot of football still to be played.
You've had a few games like that where you've had a healthy lead as a team, and the other team just moves down the field and scores a late touchdown. It doesn't really put the win in doubt, but it sounds like, from what you've said each week, that's not a thing.
Well, if you're a competitor, you don't like that, and if your same calls are working, for 50 minutes of the game, working really well, and then all of a sudden they don't. What happens? All of a sudden, they didn't get new players. We're still playing the same guys, so things break down fundamentally. It just takes one guy here or there too. It's not necessarily indicative of everybody's level of play, but it doesn't take much though either. We made a couple of mental errors, and it led to on both touchdown throws. We had mental errors on that play. So if one guy's doing what he should be doing, we got a chance to defend those plays better. So, yeah, that's always, you hate that. You're competitive, and your job's to keep people out of the end zone, and for me personally, it takes a little bit of shine off it. You like to say, well, we won, and that's all fine, but it still eats at you, and hopefully it eats at our guys.
It sounds like it's not, because in football, a lot of times you got a 24-point lead. You're just trying not to let a big play.
Well, sometimes, I don't know if that's, again, I think you do what you've been doing, and but again, there might be when the clock is their enemy. I think you're foolish to not manage the game the right way, and you want to go zero blitz and see everybody. Sounds good. It sounds good. And then they run a good jailbreak screen on you or something like that, and they pipe you, and then you're like, you're getting, selfish, or that's not playing smart or managing it well either. So it goes both ways, and somewhere in between is what you want to have. And so anyway, that being said, you got to manage the game the right way. I think that's being smart, but I don't like at the expense of people moving the ball on us either. So. There's that balance that you got to have.
Is there one main thing you said you got to clean some things up? Is there one thing that keeps coming up in games you feel like needs to be cleaned up and addressed?
I don't say it's one thing. I really don't. We the first play of the first late touchdown drive, we have a call on, and all of a sudden we're playing off. We haven't played off all game, and all of a sudden you do, and you give up a 12, 14, 15-yard completion, and now they're getting into a rhythm. And then it's like, we've annihilated that guy all day, and now you're going to play off? I don't care what the score is, that call, nobody said back up. And so you hate that. And so you can't play with a don't give up the big play attitude. We didn't. It's not like it's the last play of the half where you're 5 deep and 3 under and rushing 3. It's plenty of football to be played. You start again. I've lost a game with a 14-point lead in a minute and a half. Everybody puts their guard down and plays not to lose, and then tries to do too much, and then you don't do anything right and you lose the game. So. That's a perfect storm. But so anyway, not to talk in circles here, but you got to play with the same type of intensity, the same type of precision and focus, the same type of tough attitude. We got 2 guys trying to strip the ball. The first guy at the point of attack, the tackling, just trying to strip the ball, and we look like a bunch of chumps out there, and the guy's wiggling his way for another 6, 7, 8 yards, and the next guy comes up and he's trying to strip the ball. Next thing you know, we got 2 guys laying on the ground, and their guy's still inching forward, and that's bad football. And those are the images that I had immediately after the game. I still have even now, and it's. What are we doing here? This isn't right.
With that guy you said playing off, is it one of those deals where you're probably jumping up and down to the sideline and he's on the other side of the field and can't hear you?
Yeah.
Move up
Yeah. What are we doing? What are we doing, Coach Reed? And he's had the same thoughts that I'm having, and just,
How do you think first play, you played more this past center? How do you think you played just in reviewing?
No, there's good and bad. He made a huge play in the game, man, huge play. You can't really put a value on that. That was big time, denying people. They had a little bit of momentum, both sides of the ball, and they punched that in. Obviously, goes without being said that's points, and in a tight game, that's huge. Playing on the road, so that was a really big play. And there's other things we got to keep working, and getting better, and he's still a young guy.
Still young guy, still a true freshman. Is it too early to even think about him closing the guy?
I think we got a couple guys there we got to keep playing, both guys, and Travis is far more consistent, far more. So, again, it's we go back to a year ago, and if you can just have people that are consistently doing what they're supposed to do, and maybe not do, again, make these incredible plays, but they're executing the call. Whether that's a gap integrity or it's a zone integrity or a rotation the correct way. When you do those things well or consistently, then you have a chance to play in a good defense and defend what an offense is doing. And when those things break down, whether you're supposed to spin low and you spin high, or you're supposed to be in the B gap and you're in the A gap, or you run down there, you're staring at the ball, and somebody whacks you, and you're not in position to make the play that you're supposed to make because we're spilling you the football, and then they squirt it out for 12 yards, and then they come back and they do it again on the other side. You can't stop people. So again, just if you're supposed to be down and leverage the football, and we spill it to you, you make the tackle, you got to do that. And it may not be a textbook tackle, but it needs to be a tackle that you make for 3 or 4 yards at the worst case scenario, and let's line up and play ball again. And then, so when you're not doing those things right, that kills you. And so that answer your question?
Waterford says he makes a lot of his game like Taj. Do you see that when looking at him on film that he looks a little bit like Taj Roy?
We've got different systems. Both really good quality players. This quarterback throws with uncanny accuracy and poise in the pocket. Doesn't get any balls batted. He's not like he's a big 6'6" guy. He just got a high release. Does a great job. He's well coached. You can see that. I think Taj is from Virginia, and this guy's maybe from that area. Yeah, but okay. Play with great poise and execute what they're doing.
Is this the kind of game where your secondary is really going to have to be a high-working system? I mean, when you watch them throw 62 times in a game,
Yeah.
40 plus in the other couple games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're going to be licking their chops with some of the things that they, again, they're not watching all the great things that we do. They're focused on what are the weaknesses, what do we see them doing wrong, and then they're talking about that and working that and nurturing that concept. Let's attack them doing this and this and this. And so, again, we've, working hard at trying to improve in a lot of the little things and just being, disciplined with what we're doing. And they throw a slant route, it's third medium. Yeah, they might complete it. We need to tackle them, and let's line up and play another, not, where we're running out of our zones and staring at the wrong things and looking, again, like a bunch of fools, So, those are things that, obviously, our guys, they recognize, and we got to improve, and they know that this team will exploit you.
How much does the game plan change for you when Bashaud is in the lineup versus when he's not?
It doesn't.
So you're asking pretty much the same thing as those guys going
Yep.
next man up kind of thing?
Yep, definitely. I think we're at a point that we should expect that, and we do expect that.
Are you seeing that kind of production out of your guys that you feel comfortable?
I thought Martin Jenkins really played well. I mean, he would be the most recent example. And what's the score at half? We gave up a touchdown?
Yes.
Okay, so we gave up a touchdown. We played really pretty good with somebody other than Bashaud being in the lineup. So I think, we're not having all these other, without Bashaud Breeland calls, defensive call sheet, but your point's well taken. He's been in a great position, but we have a system that we like to run, and we expect the next guy in there. Now, a year ago, trust me, we had that different call sheet. Oh man, so anyway, Adam Humphrey came in, did a great job. He covered 2, had 1, 2, and we do 3. Are you good with that? Here's some money. He did great. It's very surprising. So, anyway, those other guys done well, and of course we're hoping to get Gary back here real quick, and he's played really well too, and Darius Robinson's played well. So they're all playing at a much more consistent level for us.
Can you just talk about Bashaud's play specifically? And it seems like he's really come up with a knack for the big play these past several weeks.
I think he's playing with a lot of confidence. His instincts are showing up. He's been physical, both in the run game and covering people. He's just playing with his better poise, technique, discipline, all those things. So it makes a huge difference, when you can get that level of play from him. So, speaks for itself, his play. So
DJ made a comment yesterday about the defensive tackles and how they feel like they approach running plays. Every play is a Paul drill.
Mm-hmm.
How do you react to that as a coach? Is that what you want to see from
Absolutely, yeah, no doubt about it. And, and again, the toughness. Those guys are tough. You have a chance to have that kind of a mentality and that permeates throughout, your front seven, and those guys don't mind, swinging away. That's for sure. So Coach Brooks does a great job at instilling the right kind of mindset, and then we got good, tough leadership there as well. So that really helps you up the middle of your defense.
Anything else?
All right, you got it.